Pew Research looked into some of the ideas that young individuals have, particularly those between the ages of 18 to 29. Yes, they're referred to as millennials, but for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to stop using that word because it's kind of annoying at this point. However, what they found was that these young people have very strong feelings about parenthood and not necessarily strong feelings about having a spouse in the future. Here's what they found. 52% of these young people cited being a good parent as one of the most important things in life. Only 30% thought the same about having a successful marriage. Now, this is honestly kind of predictable because in previous studies, people in our generation have made it clear that they don't think getting married is really all that important. Cohabitating in an apartment or whatever is considered totally acceptable. Generations before us didn't agree with that. They thought that was living in sin and it was really bad and taboo.
Yeah.
Millennials are less likely than adults over 30 to think children can't grow up happily in a one-parent household or that single parenthood is a bad idea.
Okay, that's probably good, considering that that's a reality for many, many people.
Right.
So this doesn't necessarily mean what it seems like it means. It could simply represent that they want to get married in the same way that previous generations did, but they want to do it later. After all, if you'd asked this question 50 years ago, 18 to 29-year-olds should have already been married if they're going to get married. Like, that's the time that they would. We expect that people are going to get married later, so it just might be that they haven't reached the point in their life where it becomes salient or important to them. Like, if you'd asked me when I was 27, I would have been much less likely than right now to say that it was very important. But now I'm a year and a half older than that, and I do want to eventually get married. It might just be that they want to wait a little while.
Yeah, I don't think that this necessarily means that they don't want to get married, or it doesn't necessarily mean that they want to have children. It's just a statement. Do you believe that having children is one of the most important things in life? Or I'm sorry, being a good parent is one of the most important things in life. If someone asked me that, I would say, yeah, of course, that is one of the most important things in life. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to be a parent.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so the way that the questions are asked is very important. However, I do agree that younger people right now don't necessarily think that getting married is one of the most important things. A, because, you know, you hear all these horror stories out there about people getting divorced and things like that. And B, getting married isn't the most important thing. Like, people are more interested in experiences right now, in, you know, developing their careers.
Yeah.
You know, women have more opportunities than ever before. And because of that, I think that they're putting their focus on establishing careers instead of establishing marriages.
And I think to some extent, maybe this is a small part of it, but I think that 50 or 60 years ago, socially, like, yeah, you'd have like your church or whatever, but once you get to a certain age, most of the people would be married. I know my parents, I think a lot of people's parents probably don't have as many friends as they did when they were much younger. Like, you need that spouse around because that's the person you spend all your time with. But I think that the smartphones and all this technology that we have makes it so much easier to maintain friendships that in past generations would have fallen by the wayside as they got out of the range that you could easily visit them and that sort of thing. So I think that people don't need that particular like support structure in their life socially of being with the spouse. They can hold on to their friends and their family in a way that they wouldn't have been able to 100 years ago.
By the way, I think one of the more difficult things in life as you get older is maintaining your friendships, especially after you found a life partner.
Yeah.
You know, because now you have to kind of divide time between your significant other and your friends, and then also work, and it becomes more and more challenging to do that. So.
And some people have to just divide time between their sister wives. So
That's great point.
difficult as you get older.
Great point.